What's up everybody, Broskadamus here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Tactics Advance X. Go ahead and strap yourselves in because this is going to be a long one. We're looking at about 40 minutes. This was a really long mission, mostly because it's a lot of catching up on gearing and prepping units, which I will put an option to skip when we actually get to that part, if you want to. Otherwise, I'm just going to be talking about it as we go through it. There's quite a bit of it. A lot of it is just basic stuff, so if you're not interested again, we'll be able to skip to deployment. Also in this episode, we're going to be doing a clan skirmish. And as it was mentioned in, I believe it was the last episode, the immediate last episode, it was a good suggestion was brought to my attention to just play one of them and show it off and show what has potentially changed with this mod from the base game. So I figured that's actually a really good idea, and so I'm doing one of those in this one. It kind of just fell on me as I was moving toward a mission, and I thought, yeah, we might as well do it now. So that's what we're in for this time. And it's a little long because of, well, stupid reasons, but you'll see that later on. And the individual that told me about it is, I have it right here, I wrote it down. Kyogre is gay. Well done making me say that in a recording. Probably should have read over that a little bit better beforehand, but what do you got against Kyogre? Which one is that? If my girlfriend was here, I could ask her, because she would know, but I don't remember which one that is. Is that the whale one, or the big dinosaur one? Whatever, we're getting off track. As this plays in the background, after we get to the actual screen, I will give the option to skip. If I remember right, well, we're on the topic of Kyogre, he actually brought to my attention that you can use break techniques from range as a melee class. I've probably used them 1,000 times and never even registered it. Totally overlooked it. I don't know if it's because you couldn't in the original game or not. I actually don't remember at this point. But I definitely make use of it in this mission as well, so thank you for that. I believe that was the episode before the most recent episode that's already gone up. So, thanks again. It's been pretty active, and I always welcome the advice and the help. And we're going to be getting into some of the newer classes or jobs in this game soon. We'll be, I believe at the end of this episode, we should have a couple unlocked basic human jobs, like Fighter and Paladin, become unlocked, but we start to get into the more complex and specialized jobs, so that's going to be a lot of fun as we break into the new balances and changes outside of our base classes here, or base jobs. I really need to get that right. Jobs. It's Final Fantasy, it's jobs. Alright, so we're going to start up some dispatch missions here, using a few of the things that we gathered up from last episode, and checking and seeing what we can use, trying to maximize what we can bring back from mission rewards. Hoping that we can find some stuff for our, not necessarily our mages, but things to support our mages so we can start moving into more specialized casters, so we can get time mages and try out some of those other mages that are relatively new. I'm trying to remember what they're called. Cultist, I think? I could definitely be wrong on that. I haven't checked the site to check and make sure I know what the new jobs are. But I believe Cultist, I can't recall what it takes, but I know it's a mage-like job, unless I'm totally botching that and I've mixed it up with something else. So maybe I don't know. I shouldn't say absolutes. But with that said, we're going to be seeing some new stuff pretty soon. Probably across the next couple of episodes as we finish our specialization completions with our jobs, and we'll be moving into more interesting territory. And so we won't keep getting, let's see, white monks and beastmasters. Well, they're not beastmasters in this one. They're animists. So you can go ahead and skip here. It'll be on the screen magically through the power of editing. And this will take you to the destination of right before the mission starts, so you can see the beginning and then you can see the deployment. So if you choose to do that, we will see you in well, more than a few minutes. It's quite a while, but I'll see you then. Alright, now that they're gone, we can talk about our outfitting. One thing I did notice while outfitting, I will bring out this, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's just kind of a interesting effect of having a animist that's a new Mao. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks like they still learn Beastmaster-oriented skills. I'll point it out as it comes up, but it seems really odd. I can't learn the animist abilities that are shown for the Moogle animist for the new Mao. Now, I'm trying my best right now, because it's been so long, to remember if that's because it's always been like that and you actually have to have the racial picture there. I believe that you do, but it just struck me as odd because the fact that some of them that say Beastmaster are giving me specializations for my new Mao animist, and I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's intended and there just is not a tooltip change. I gotta go check the forums, but if anybody knows off the top of your head, do let me know. If it's a bug, I want to let it be known that it's a bug and what's going on, but if you do know, let me know if I'm just totally off. Let me know if I'm actually right. Also, let me know as to what that is, if that's intentional or whatnot. I always want to know if the information I'm giving is correct. I don't want to give false information or misinformation to confuse anyone at all. So we're going to look through these, and we did get some new items in the shop, and you could see I have quite a bit of money saved up because I was specializing still, so there was, as we were waiting to finish those skills, there was nothing really to buy. I was afraid to spend too much of my money because I wanted to make sure that I had enough money to buy the things that I needed to immediately start specializing when it happened. Like this, for instance, the Blessed Staff to get life. This is great. I've been waiting a while now to get a revive that didn't require a reagent. So this is excellent. I've been waiting for life for my white mage for a while. I always bring my white mage. I don't know if that makes me boring or not, but I always bring my white mage because you never know when you're going to need to fight an attrition battle. And if anyone's ever watched Team 4 Stars series, you don't fuck with the white mage. Now, with the white mage pretty much covered, and I'm trying to spread out my gear. I'm trying to make sure that everybody's got some gear, even the people I don't use right away, because I like to use them for dispatch missions so they can slowly learn the skills behind the scenes, so I can try to specialize them without having to always drag people into the missions with me. Now we're going to go through all of our guys here and figure out where we're at. So as you can see, first aid will be mastered at the end of this mission. And we have mastered everything here on Darcy. He's going to be picking up the new staff that we just bought. The Blessed Staff. Excellent. And we're going to be outfitting them as well with new robes and whatnot. And I did want to make sure that it was the Revive KO'd unit. I had forgotten. For some reason I wanted it to say it was called Revive, but I think that's actually a Bishop ability. So this is the process that's going to take a while, because I'm looking through, making sure I didn't miss any jobs, making sure everybody's either specialized or almost specialized. And basically just getting caught up. So here's what I mean by making sure everybody's outfitted. I'm thinking about making Rolf a blue mage, because he's been holding onto the white staff here that we have as run-over gear. And I'm thinking of making him a blue mage. I'm not entirely sure how much has changed with blue mages in this one, but I figured, what the hell? Let's try out a bunch of classes, why not? Just show them off, try it, check the balance, see how they work. Same thing with, similar to, maybe Oscar there, our black mage. I might try to make him something as well. but I'm not entirely sure what yet. As always, if there's suggestions, let me know. So now we're just trying to complete the dispatch mission here, so we can get our character back. And there's Lucas, and he brings back the fire wheel rod and the homework. I believe that was homework. Now we're going to go back and complete our editing of our party. And he has Whirlwind mastered and working on Exorcism still, so at this point, I did want to get him air render, but I couldn't really justify it. I will need to invest in that later. As you can see here, I'm sitting trying to think if I want to go pick up the air render fist weapon, but I decided to wait on, at least for him, since he is actually still mastering something. Even though Exorcism is great, it's very situational. I figured I might as well let him finish mastering that. I've got no reason to put it off anymore. So now I'm trying to get around somewhere safely so we don't run into stuff yet, because I'm not ready. We want to finish outfitting and figure out what we're gonna do. And there it is. We brought Edmund back here. Edmund is going to be our replacement for Mont Blanc because I don't really like Mont Blanc. And we have another animist. So we're going to be getting a lot of stuff like that, but pretty soon I'm hoping to broaden our actual jobs. See, I got it right there. I actually remembered. That'll be one of the few times. So now as we decide, I thought maybe I should use the new guy I just picked up because he's higher level, but we did already master something on Edmund here, so I figured I'd stick with him. And here's where I noticed the oddity, because I figured, hey, I'll get, well, then there's that, but, I mean, we've already seen those before, but I was like, I thought I'd get a catnip, so let's get catnip. Nope. Here's where I also realized that I need to buy some more armor. But I cannot learn catnip from the War Trumpet as a new Mao animist. Again, not entirely sure if that's intentional or if that was even in the base game. They might be racially separated, which sounds really messed up taken out of context, so don't take that out of context. But in the context of this game, it makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out now what kind of armor I should pick up, and then to see if the Animist moniker actually works with the new Mao. And it doesn't seem to, but then at the same time, I thought it was odd. And if I'll bring up their survival immunity for Beastmaster, it works on the new Mao Animist. So I think Beastmaster is just a placeholder for what is now the Animist, I believe. I believe that's intentional, it's just not a tooltip fix for the name, because I don't think you can fix it because of limitations of the hack, but I will have to go check on the forums. But if anybody does know, much quicker answer to look in the comments if anybody's answered it. I did find it odd, so that took part of my time when I was looking through these, trying to figure out what the hell was going on with that. I had to make sure I wasn't insane, so I made sure I looked through it and determined that yes, that's actually what's happening. And we're picking up some better armor and trying to figure out if I want to pick up another shield, though I decide that my shields for now are good. I have one unused already. And we do pick up some more utility accessories like the boots and the gauntlets. Just outfitting using the money. I do pick up some more potions, finally getting some high potions and getting some more Phoenix down to be safe. I like to sit around 5 to 10, but right now money's a little bit tight because I'm buying new gear, so I'm sticking around 5. And I'll pick up 3 high potions. I don't really need the base potions anymore. If I have some, I will make use of them if I need to, but I don't really need to be buying them anymore. They're a little bit too low now for our level. So we're keeping Mont Blanc as a thief right now, but we're not going to be using him very much unless we need him for specific things, because he already started out as a black mage, and his stats just aren't very good, and I don't like him as a black mage because our new Mao Diesel is way better, he scales better, and Mont Blanc annoys me, and I'm not the only one. So I'm taking a look at his stuff, making sure he's not wearing anything I could use more usefully on someone else, and we're going to go through and we're going to give everybody the iron armor that I bought him, making sure that our frontline soldiers are nice and strong. And as we look at this, I will say right now, I made a mistake on the deployment because of just glancing at the level of my character and not looking at the name. You'll probably see it right away, and I'll point it out, but you'll see it right away. It was a stupid mistake, but it was hilarious. So it actually worked out in my favor slightly. It wasn't necessary, but it was a slight help, you could say. So now we're taking a look at Colette here, trying to figure out if we have anything for now the survival vest. There we go. Okay, so the survival vest. This is the interesting thing. As soon as I look at it, apparently I don't look at it yet. Well done. I'm just oh, okay. Yeah, I'm double checking to make sure Diesel's got a specialization and a new robe. Making sure everybody's outfitted. Checking that shield, because I just remembered I had that shield. And we're gonna give that to Yave. Because, why not? It's an upgraded shield. He's already mastered Shield Bearer, no loss to take off that shield and give him a better one. And it gives you Shield Bearer anyway. So, Yave's in a really good position right now. He's got great defenses, and he's got pretty good gear on for the level. Same thing with Marsh. I'm pretty happy with how Lucas is outfitted, but again, you'll see the hilarity later on and figure out the mistake I've made to where that is irrelevant. Nothing permanent, but for the mission it's irrelevant. I'm also doing a little thinking as to who I want to bring along the next mission, though this is before I decided that we were going to be doing a clan skirmish. And I was thinking of the mission ahead, which is in the Giza Plains. But it turns out, just generally outfitting your units will serve an excellent purpose. So we move down here and right into the next clan. Clan Marble. Not the most intimidating name, but it clearly looks like we literally walked into an ambush. And welcome back to everybody who skipped ahead. You didn't miss anything, just talking about gear. If you want to watch that part, you can. It is sped up slightly. The entire beginning of the video is sped up slightly because it's a super long video. But welcome back all the same. And we're going to be taking a look at deployment here. We're fighting Clan Marble. Trying to decide who I want to face down, I figured I'd place my forward melee along the, I guess, left side of the field, the left flank from our point of view. And I wanted to place my healer away from that, as I was a little bit worried, with hindsight, a little overly cautious, maybe, but I may have overestimated the strength of their melee and the usefulness of their melee because of some of the abilities that they had me worried. I didn't want to be forced to sit some break moves. Those are definitely not... It's not something you can really counter, as there's no way to remove them, at least currently. So I bring Edmund along, and I will let you figure out the mistake I made briefly here before we start. Go ahead, I'll wait. And we're off. I'll let you know what the mistake was in a moment. You probably already know if you haven't already yelled at your screen. Like I'm some reject Dora the Explorer. Now, back to checking abilities. No more being afraid. So we're going to check the abilities. Reflex. Pain in the ass. Not insurmountable, but pain in the ass. Speed break. That makes me upset. I want to control him. I don't want him to speed break me. That's a pain in the ass. Power break. Again, pain in the ass. Body slam. Not too bad. Don't want him attacking anything with low defense, though. So, determining their movement, because I want to deal with the melee first. And luckily, they're not very fast, but Carl will get a turn soon. My units tend to be a little bit faster, though, and that will confer me the advantage. And Colette gets to go first. So we're going to immediately try to lock down one of the melee, because he's the one closest to our flank, and I really don't want him weaseling around behind Yves there. So I'm trying to figure out who's best to go after, judging by the fact that Carl is going to get his turn first. I tried to weigh who was more dangerous, and I decided that it was Carl. And we got a lucky hit. We were flanking, technically, where we couldn't flank the, I think it was... Damn, I don't remember his name. Toynbee? Tornby? I can't remember his name. We'll see it in a second. But the Bongo Warrior, I couldn't get around behind him, couldn't get the boosted effect chance. So I decided to go for Carl. Since he's going first, he won't be able to move. And maybe we can get some slows and controls on him. And since there's nothing to heal, we use Protect. Now, Loki is not the name of my outfitted monk. I'm sure you've already figured that out. But we basically threw in a monk that I believe doesn't have any weapons or armor on. The reason I say this is because I can't use any of his techniques, which is both hilarious and frustrating. I thought I was just retarded and didn't select the ability to use them, but it slowly dawned on me at the end of the video that that's not the right character. I put a literally unequipped monk out into battle. My plan originally was to use him as a distraction on the right-hand side because I already knew that he was one of my weaker characters, being level 5. But I mistaked him for being higher than he was, and I used my level 7. Because I had been using him, so I figured he'd be higher than the other one, but I forgot that I got the other one later. Toynbee. That's the warrior's name. So now we have a choice to make. Now that we were able to put to sleep their faster character, we have a choice to make. Do we want to slow down the next character? Yes, we do. With that being said, because the other two are locked down, they can wait a little bit, but I really do want to slow everybody down. And you notice I got into melee range there, out of habit. I did know that you can use them at range, but I felt safer getting into melee range. I don't know what it is. It's just it's so beaten into me that that's a melee ability, I guess. So now, since we don't have to do anything, I decide to walk up and speed break the sleep opponent. On Pauline here, this turns out to be a really big play because, well, she would have been aggravating. She has reflex. And having her slowed and asleep is brutal, considering she's controlled for a long-ass time in this battle. Now, Jareth has sheep count. But who needs sheep count when you can smack my monk in the side of the head with a goddamn bell and crit for 40? And here's where I stopped worrying about melee so much. Doing 28 damage was a lot less than I expected from that, on my archer nonetheless. So I figured, well, we can try to lock him down, or we can just take some pot shots at them. Trying to figure out who has the most health and who would be the easiest target to hit, because I still at this point fear both of them. In the end, you could really choose to do either. Locking enemies down is never a bad thing. Dealing damage is also never a bad thing, as long as your turn isn't wasted. Trying to determine which one to attack, it takes a little bit, but I choose to go for the warrior. They tend to have a little bit less defense, and it looked like he was using a two-handed sword. So we'll try to eliminate him. Since the other one is locked down, he's not the immediate threat anyway. So we get our white mage away from some of the melee action and start moving him toward our white monk who's not outfitted with anything. My whole idea is it, hopefully with how weak the white monk is, obviously not knowing he's not outfitted, but hoping with my outfitted monk that he's still weak enough to draw enough attention. And that seems to be so. And I'm hoping to draw attention and keep some of the ranged characters or the more utility-based characters busy, like their animist and their archer. So Carl breaks out of it because I should have been watching his turns. He actually got quite a few turns along the way here. And he is not slowed yet with speed breaks, so that comes into play. And the plan to get the as many enemies to shoot at my monk is seeming to work pretty well. Now Edmund's been making himself pretty useful, and Jareth's gonna get a turn. So I decide to try to get into range to sheep count the animist. Use an animist ability on the animist. But I quickly catch that it does 0% chance. I'm not sure what that is, but I have a 0% chance to hit, so I check in to see, and trying to see if he's got a way to maybe immunity, block status effects. I couldn't find anything, but 0% tells me don't fucking waste it, so go after something else. So I decide to try to sleep the warrior here by standing next to him. And we don't get it, but we've been pretty lucky with our CC so far, so I'm not too upset about that. And we did end up blocking him and making it more difficult for him to reach our healer. And here's where I remember. Ranged, you idiot. Again, thank you for bringing that up. So now I can safely put his back to the wall and still get the same hit out. Very useful. For anybody who's been doing that wrong like me, or for anybody who just forgets, try to remember doing that. That's excellent for positioning. Though it wouldn't have been the end of the world just to attack him in melee like that. Now I'm trying to support my lone unit over here, and again making use of the range speed break. Amazing! I don't know how I could just sit there, look at that, and think, ugh, gotta get into melee range. Screen means nothing. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long I was able to look at that and not realize that there was some range on that attack. But as we look at our turn order here, you can see that we're starting to pull ahead. Jareth's still going to get a turn coming up, but he's going to suffer next cycle. Now again, attempting to immobilize, and we miss again. This warrior does not want to stop. But because we waited, we now have a turn with our white mage just in time before their animist gets another attack, and he gets a heal off on our monk with no fucking gear on. I still can't believe I made that mistake. That was so dumb. And I'm not entirely sure why he chooses to go after the protected, tanky, I almost call him a warrior, soldier, instead of my unoutfitted monk, but I will take it. And Colette's getting all kinds of turns. She's way faster than I remember. Though it could just be because we've slowed down their entire team, namely their fastest character, their fencer. That better be a fencer. Is that an elementalist? Shit. I can't tell from this angle. Oh man. Gonna look like an asshole. Mobilize, and we get it finally. Now we got a little bit more freedom of movement because we can leave that warrior alone. Pardon me. And he goes after the healer finally. With never miss damage that doesn't hit very hard. And unfortunately, we have the Beastmaster. Oh, he's not a Beastmaster. Get over it. The Animus standing too close, but it doesn't matter. He's able to get the dodge. And we're going to go for the sheep count for good measure. And we get it. So that warrior is out of commission. We're free to position away from him because there's no threat that he's going to be getting out of anything anytime soon. So we go all in on Carl here. Their soldier. Pardon me, want to take a drink? And Protect starts to fade. We're going to go after their Animus next because I'm still worried that he's going to use sheep count and start trying to crowd control me. Now, I'm not entirely sure if there's an issue or if it was just a straight fluke, but none of these enemies ever used their abilities. Not once. I think the only exception was their archer using his never miss damage move. Yeah. Looking at this again, even during the time I noticed it, but looking at this now, nobody used any abilities. I don't know if that's a bug, or if it's just a fluke that they never used any of their abilities, or what. But, I mean, I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. That's great that they didn't use their abilities. That would have been a pain in the ass. Just like that miss. I'd really like to put the archer to sleep. More that he's annoying, less that he's a threat. And sadly, Jareth is not going to get another turn before we lay him to rest. That's 2 enemies down. We're in a great place right now. Again, the problem comes in the form of the melee characters, but they weren't nearly as big a problem as I thought they were going to be. And a little bit of lag there with my recording software. Not sure why. And it seems to even out. Not sure what was going on there. And because I can't get anywhere, we're going to go ahead and armor up again. Mostly to farm a little XP for the healer. And can't do anything with Yve, sadly. So we'll have to pass after moving. Now, we're going to get free range on Carl here. Going for an immobilize to try to hold him in place. Because Marsh is getting a little bit low on health. Attrition battle might end poorly for him. He's had to fight without a healer. Though Darcy's on his way. But with that immobilize landing, we're able to position Marsh wherever we please. If we want to wait for a heal, we can wait for a heal. If we want to make sure that he has to come attack me head on, we can make sure that that happens too. So, apparently, trumpets hurt when you hit people with them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, that shit would fucking hurt. But these are soldiers and warriors and various things. Getting hit by a trumpet seems like it would be much better than getting hit by a sword or a mace or an axe. Or fire. Something like that. I mean, that did a lot of damage. I get that he's an archer and he doesn't like getting hit with stuff, but still. I didn't expect the trumpet to do that much damage. That's definitely nothing to sneeze at. I will be hitting people with trumpets more often. Now, here's where I decide to break out their reflex bunny. This is the stupid reason I was talking about. This is why the episode is so long. I soon realize, probably about a minute from now, maybe less, I don't have anybody that can hit somebody with fucking reflex. I don't have any way to hit anybody with reflex. I have combo, and I have the ability to put them to sleep, hit them, and then continue to put them to sleep to be able to hit them. I don't have any abilities that can hit through reflex. So now, it becomes a puzzle game. An elongated puzzle game. I have to use Marsh's combo to deal damage to Pauline. because I don't have any abilities to get through it. Or I can continue to put her to sleep. But as you can see, that's not really guaranteed. Her alone is not going to win them this battle, but they will delay it long enough to make this a ridiculously long episode and cause the upload to take a goddamn century. So, at this point, I began to realize that I don't have anybody to hit reflex. So I'm walking around and immediately thought, well, I'm gonna have to use combo. So with that being said, I should have saved the archer to combo farm. But I figured, let's knock him out and then focus. But it would have made it a lot faster if I had saved him, used combo on Pauline, finished him off with Marsh, used combo on Pauline, and it would have been over, and then I could have finished off the warrior. But instead, we have to initiate a circle jerk in the corner of the map where I'm trying to make it so Marsh is the only one able to kill the warrior, so I could use his combo on Pauline. But at no point did I feel like the mission was in jeopardy. I just felt like this was dragging on for no reason. That's definitely something to consider in the future, and for anybody who's not quite here yet, prepare for reflex about this time. And if you can, bring something like air render. That's biting me in the ass now. Bring something like air render, or maybe a strike that deals damage if you're using a warrior, or I guess it depends on when you encounter reflex yourself. But reflex is a pain in the ass. So we're gonna go ahead and take down the archer. With hindsight, should have saved the archer to use combo farm, but I didn't really want to chase him around. So at this point, we're going into super fast mode. And we're going to essentially look at this stupid situation unfold. As I basically just set everybody up to wait, lower her attack, because we're going to be here for a while, and just wait for everybody's turn. And that pisses me off. But that's why we got the new life on our staff. And there we go, we got to use it once. I don't know if that's a good thing, but we got to use it once, why not? Now we just wait. We wait for turns to go, and we wait for Marsh to get his combo off, then we wait for him to farm a combo off of the warrior that's still left, so we're going to start plinking the warrior until he's low enough to be killed on Marsh's next turn after he uses combo the first time on Polly. So as this insanity ensues, what could I have done better? Well, have an ability that can hit through reflex, first of all. Barring that, there's not much more I could have done other than kill the archer to farm combo off of. It wouldn't have taken as long. But with that being said, it's not really a big deal. It just took more time. I spent more time on it rather than more effort, you could say. It's not a big deal. Just delaying. We're gonna whittle down the warrior as this insanity is... Good thing this doesn't happen very often, because I don't know if I could watch it at this speed for very long. And I imagine that you guys don't want to see it at this speed for very long. It's really straining on the eyes for some reason. But I can't look away, it's like a train wreck. I mean, it also looks like a train wreck. Because of this stupid... there we go. We're able to immobilize her. And with her immobilized, she can't keep running around. And we do get our combo. But we have to wait for his turn to be able to use the combo. So I decide, well, let's, why not? Put her to sleep. And we succeed, finally. If we had put her to sleep a turn earlier, she would have been dead anyway. But this guarantees it, for sure. Now Marsh can pull off his combo. And finished. And that super fast mode is finally done. And the mission is accomplished. So that is a clan versus clan battle. I'm sure I'll do some more later on. I'll spread them out to show some of the changes. I might farm off camera because if we just did this all on camera, this would be insane. But here's our masteries. Well worth it. Moving into the next mission. And that wraps it up for us, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode with some new jobs. Take it easy, everyone.